and you got to watch the video that says "lose the child word." It's incredible.
Okay, that's what
The video is called "Lose the Child Word." It's a quote.
Okay.
Because during that particular video, I was the man. I was talking to like 5 women. I was told a lot of really odd things. Like, for example, we're told, I think the quote that was, "You're a man, you don't have a uterus, so it's not your issue," or something like that. Right. So that's an important one for you guys to watch as men, because we are part of it. Did anybody tell you that this week?
No, but I did find that a majority of the people that I was giving pamphlets out to, about 90% of them were men, because I don't think they really come to understand that it takes two, and it's their issue just as much as it is the woman's, because it's your child, not hers, not his, it's both of yours. And that's something that I think needs to be spread as well, is that men don't understand how much of an issue it is, and they don't even understand that they're part of it too.
Yes, unfortunately, I mean, we're men, and I got to admit, we are annoying. We have some very bad, I have 3 daughters, and I spent a lot of my life explaining that to them, because they didn't have any brothers. I wish they did. So I had to be like the token male and explain how bad we are. We have our issues. So I know I'm a man, you guys, you know how bad you are. We can be bad. And a lot of the times, that's the thing. To say that it's pro-choice for the woman, it's not. Almost always it's a man. Right. Either their boyfriend, their father. Sadly, I would never, ever, and my daughters would never have an abortion. But some dads are bad. They're awful.
Yeah, a lot of the time when there are abortions, it's often like the boyfriends or like the husbands or the male like advocating for the abortion. So it's not just a woman's issue. Also, I find like when people do tend to use the justification of it being a woman's issue and not a man's issue, it's ultimately just a cover to sort of avoid the topic of like the humanness of the fetus or the personhood of the fetus. Because if you looked at it from the perspective that the woman does have a closer proximity to the child than the man, this is indeed true, because the child is in fact carried within the woman's body. So it's fair for them to say that like there's a greater like proximity, a greater like association to some extent between the woman and the child. But you also have to recognize that despite the fact that the woman and the child are more closely like physically connected than the man and the child, like the child as itself has more connection to itself than the mother has to itself, than the mother has to the child. So it ultimately comes down to whether the child is a human or not, like whether the child is a person or not. If it's on the basis of like association, like you can say that like as a second party, the mother may be more closely associated, but it fails to recognize like the first person association that the child has with itself. So it ultimately comes down to justifying like the humanness or the personhood of the child. It's such an issue, I would tend to think.
Yeah, I completely agree, Giovanni. The basic issue is when does human life begin?